If you are wondering what a core seat is versus a sales seat versus a service seat versus a view only seat, or how to actually set individuals up with different permission sets. So for example, how and who can edit what leads or records, or who has access to different settings inside of your HubSpot environment. This video is definitely for you. This is another HubSpot 101 basics video. We have hundreds of these videos and we roll them out because we want people to set things up properly and get the most out of their new HubSpot environment. All right. So again, this is going to cover the different seats, what they're used for, what they actually give access to, and how to actually assign your seats when you are onboarding new team members into HubSpot. At the end of this video, I'm also going to cover the permission sets and how to set them up. So with that being said, I will let Hunter take it from here, and I will see you towards the end of the video to help you guys get your permission sets set up.
So first thing you want to do is go up to the gear icon on your HubSpot toolbar here. It should take you to your settings page. Once you get into the settings page, you're going to go ahead and click on users and teams. And when you do so, it will take you to this page here, which gives you the overview of all the users in your account, what seat they have, what permission set, and what access they have. So today we're talking about seats. So what we're going to do is go ahead and go to the seats tab here. And here you can see essentially, again, the list of users in your account and what seat that they are assigned to. So there's always a lot of questions about what seats do and how they work inside the CRM. So I'll give you a brief overview here. Essentially, you can see here we have 4 different kinds of seats in the CRM, right? We have view only, core seats, sales seats, and service seats, right? View only is pretty self-explanatory. It basically means that you can see certain pages inside of the CRM, but you can't create, publish, edit, or delete any info. So there's essentially a limited amount of things that you can actually see in the CRM based off of your permission set, which is a separate thing. And you just can't manipulate any of the data within the CRM, but you can see it, right? Core seats are going to be needed for anybody who's trying to access simple tools inside the CRM, which, to break it down super simply, is essentially just access to being able to see all the contacts in the CRM, being able to see all the deals in the CRM, being able to see the tickets in the CRM, being able to see lists that have been created and things like that. So just super basic features. So a lot of people will essentially assign their, virtual assistants or their executive assistants as core seats, since they simply just need to be able to see data in the CRM and maybe manipulate things here, change a phone number, change an email address, leave a note and things like that. So those are typically for the core seats. And then we also have sales seats here. And the sales seats, for most businesses, they typically purchase the professional package. So don't worry that this says enterprise here. But the sales professional seats, essentially these sales seats give you additional access to other tools in the CRM. So anytime that you're onboarding a new sales rep, you're going to want to make sure that you assign them a sales enterprise seat, or rather a sales professional seat. And I'll show you how to do that here in a moment. But the sales seats essentially give you access to having multiple other email signatures, so you can have more than one email signature. The sales workspace, which is a really handy tool right here, which is HubSpot's version of basically a consolidated view for sales reps to be able to work out of. You can also get access to the coaching playlists and duplicates management, and also sales analytics and things of that nature. You can also, it gives you access to deal and company scoring, as well as automated sequences. And most importantly, that seat gives them access to be able to be added to a team, which we'll talk about later as well, for automatic lead rotation to specific reps. So that's an overview of the sales seat. And then the service seat are going to be for your service team members or your fulfillment team members, which gives you access to the ticketing and all of those kinds of features. So under the service tab, we have the help desk. So that will give them access to the help desk to manage all of the tickets that come into your system with customer issues. That also gives you access to the customer agent, which is an AI bot that can be set up for basically a chatbot on your website. You can create chat flows for the customer agent. You can also set up a knowledge base. So if you have common questions, you can create a knowledge base and direct customers to the knowledge base. That way you don't have to take up your rep's time, as well as access to the customer portal, which can be set up to allow your customers to submit tickets directly to you, as well as just like the sales seats, the service seats will also give them access to be added to a team as well, where they can be delegated tickets on a rotation automatically as well there. In addition, they also get access to the feedback survey, so you can collect feedback on any of the tickets that are completed by your team. So from there, the last thing I'm going to show you here is essentially just how to change a seat, right? So for example, let's say we just wanted to change Austin's seat. You just make sure you're in the seats tab, and then you just find the user that you want, click on change seat, and then under the seat section here, you just select which seat that they need. Austin already signed one. It doesn't let me change it here, but you would just assign whichever seat that you need to assign to them. And then you would just click on save, and then that will give them the access to all of those additional paid features in the CRM.
All right, guys, there's one last step in here that I want to cover. I want to cover exactly how to leverage teams and how to assign preset permission sets. Okay, so when you have all of your users added, you're going to be able to, depending on if you're pro or if you are enterprise or just getting started, you can go ahead and create teams such as, for example, setter sales team. And you can also nest this under another team. So for example, if you had sales department and then you put setters, closers, manager, right? And really what this is going to do is when you are setting up these teams, for example, when you're building workflows for lead delegation, you can select team for rotating the leads rather than assigning each user, which is going to save you a ton of time. You ever want to take somebody out of the delegation, you just unassign them from the team, or you can move them into, for example, a on vacation team or something along those lines just to pull them out of rotation. Or if you have a new hire, you can just assign them to the team, and that will put them in all of the workflows that you need for everything to work whenever you are leveraging the team piece inside of any of these workflows. Okay, so you can go ahead and set up the team. Once you set up the team, again, I'm just in one of my demo portals, but you can go into any of these teams and basically hit edit, and you can select any members that you want to add into this specific team. All right, now when you are actually creating new users, or you want to assign somebody specific permission sets, right? You can go into permission sets and you can go ahead and create them from scratch. So for example, if you want your sales team, so let's just call this, for example, setter permissions. Okay. Basically, you can label whatever different permission sets that you want, and you can go ahead and basically set up what you want them to have access to. So for example, if we want contacts, view, edit, delete, right? Obviously, we don't want them to be able to delete contacts. So we're going to put none. If we want edit, only the contacts that they own, right? And let's say view, they can view all contacts, right? So you're going to have all of the different permission sets across the entire CRM right here. Marketing, sales, service, automation, reporting. Maybe you don't want your setters to be able to go in and build reports randomly or workflows or sequences. You can control all of that here simply by creating the permission set. Once you hit create and save, it'll be right here, and you can go into your users. So let's say I wanted to edit my own permission set. I can go in here, choose access. I'm going to use a custom permission set, scroll down, and then they will show up right here and you can add them to it. And the last thing that I will go over with you guys is going to be something I use ever so often, but it is useful and good to know. So when you're on your users tab or your users page, you can actually edit all of these different columns. So for example, you can see who has what seat, permission set, access, who the manager is, the main team. Again, this is a demo portal, so it's not going to be fully set up, but who's accepted their invite, who's pending, when were they last active, if their email was connected. So if you're onboarding new reps, obviously you want to know who has their email set up, who has their calendar set up, their calendar synced, what, if any, scheduling pages are they on. and a bunch of other stuff. You can go in and edit these columns right here. You can freeze it. So obviously you don't have to go back and forth to see who's who, but you can add as many of these things as you want, such as availability status, or if they have an additional phone number, their name, job title, all of that stuff directly in here, just easy use. Now, if you want to see specific people or you're looking for specific individuals, such as a specific team, you can go in and you can filter people based on a bunch of different stuff here. So who's active, who's not active, who has what access, calendar synced, not synced, etc. So I use this a lot when I'm onboarding new individuals, just to check to make sure that they've gone through all the steps of setting everything up. And then also just to make sure that people are logging in. All right, as always, guys, every single one of these HubSpot 101 videos comes with a matched SOP down below. You can go ahead and grab it while you're building. Might as well get the documentation to go along with it. Also, if you want more advanced content, you can find that on my page. And if you are a beginner, we have hundreds of these videos all in the HubSpot 101 playlist that are rolling out every other day for a very long time. So that being said, if you need any help, you're looking for somebody to come in, do this for you, set it up for your sales team, your marketing, make sure everything's set up, onboarding, client journey, upsell, renewal, setter engine, closer engine, show rates, follow-up, reactivation, marketing attribution, reporting, dashboards, you name it. We've done it many times, hundreds and hundreds of times for some of the biggest names across the industry. So if that's you and you're curious as to what that looks like, you can go ahead and click the link below that says application, and hopefully we will see you on a call. So that being said, I'm going to wrap it here and I'll see you guys in the next video.